Whatever happened to Wolverhampton Wanderers parting ways with manager Julian Lopetegui just 3 days before the Premier League season kicked off and bringing in Gary O'Neill, experienced manager who has saved Bournemouth from relegation once before. Is he going to be able to do it with Wolves this time around? Today, we're going to be making our very own 4-3-3 tactic to try and save Wolves from relegation and rebuilding them over the next 5 years, keeping up with that Portuguese tradition, bringing in some fantastic wonder kids as well. And we're going to have a potential best player in the world come through our very own Wolverhampton Wanderers Academy. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Season number 1, Wolves. Let's have a look at the rebuild. Starting off with transfers, we're going to keep things as realistic as possible, and as the broken relationship between Julian Lopetegui and the Wolves board went, we're going to be making no signings whatsoever, no outgoings either. A very, very quiet season number 1. You can see we've done quite literally nothing in the transfer window, but I think that is as realistic as it can get. The formation we built is the 4-3-3 that I produced on the channel just last week, so if you are interested in a full tactic breakdown, go over there and have a look. It's very attacking, it's high press, it's a very fun system, and I think suits a few of these Wolves players down to a T. We're going to look at some absolute superstars, and number 1 is cover star Matheus Cunha, now a fantastic striker, Brazilian at Atletico Madrid and Hertha Berlin, especially Hertha Berlin. He absolutely smashed again, 12 goals in 38 games. At Wolves, he's going to be our number 9. He's got some fantastic dribbling, great aggression, determination, flair, long shots, technique, and is someone we're certainly going to be trying to build this Wolves team around. Obviously, 5 years into the future, he'll be 30 years of age, so he should have the whole prime of his career just ahead of him. And speaking of that, it's Matheus Nunes, another fantastic player, just 25 years of age, Portuguese, and unbelievable stats. There's some down arrows on there, but we'll ignore them because 16 bravery, 17 concentration, great tackling, work rate, teamwork. And if you watch Wolves in real life, him and Matheus Cunha look to be two absolutely outstanding superstars. And another young player we've got in midfield is João Gomes. Now, I'm really excited by João Gomes, obviously joining just last season, played 59 games for Flamengo, has now come over to England and looks outstanding. As a CDM, has got 15 tackling and 14 marking, 16 work rate, 16 teamwork, 16 aggression, 16 bravery, 16 determination, is consistent, and he is fantastic and is certainly going to be a mainstay in this team over the next 5 years, alongside captain, leader, legend Max Kilman. This guy has an unbelievable story. You can see down in the bottom right a Maidenhead and in Marlow. Obviously then coming up to Wolves is quite the jump in 2018. This guy is known to be I believe he was a street footballer, like a futsal player, and is unbelievable on the ball. I mean, dribbling wise doesn't quite give him the justice he probably deserves, and flair of just 11. I think if you watch this guy in a street match against most players in the Premier League, he would absolutely destroy them. And Max Kilman is a fantastic centre-half, has been linked to clubs in the Serie A this season as well. Has just been given the captain's armband for Wolves. So Max Kilman is certainly going to be standing around in this team. Obviously, season number 1, we've just got the Premier League, the FA Cup, and the Carabao Cup to go ahead and try and win. It'd be good fun if we can get a few trophies in this rebuild. The sort of goal is to probably get into Europe once or twice, to maybe win an FA Cup would be quite nice over the next 5 years. I'm not going to sort of set things too unrealistic. It is going to try and be a realistic rebuild. I'm going to try and not spend a ridiculous amount of money. I'm going to try and sort of keep a net spend over the next 5 years of around 250, 300 million pounds. I think is quite realistic for a club looking to push into the top half. So there's going to be some transfers along the way and some fantastic sort of Hispanic speaking players is sort of my goal, as well as getting a few English talent in as well. And like I said, we are going to develop a wonder kid through the academy, who I believe comes through actually in season number 1, who has literally got the potential to be the best player in the world. So stick around for that one. 17 training facilities and 17 youth facilities. Hopefully we can produce more than just the one. Obviously Molineux, a decent stadium, 30,000 capacity. Wolverhampton Wanderers, season number 1. This season I predicted them to come 18th in real life. Can we do better than relegation? I really hope so.
Lovely Wolverhampton!
Well, with 0 signings whatsoever, we did manage to beat relegation, coming in 10th place in the Premier League. I think that is a very, very good season. Obviously, the squad we know is decent. It just takes the right things to get the tune out of it. I think if you look in depth into the squad, there is some holes. 10th place in the Premier League is very, very good, and I'm very happy with that. Liverpool and Manchester United joint on points, and United losing out on the title by 1 goal difference. What a season that this was. Man City on 86 as well, potential to win the league. Villa in 4th, Arsenal 5th, Chelsea 6th, West Ham 7th, Tottenham 8th. Hopefully next season we can break into that top 8 and get our very own European football. The standout players for us this season, I mean, we've got a couple, and I mentioned one of them, Mateus Cunha, getting 16 goals and 1 assist this season as our striker. Very happy to see the results coming in from him. He's really wanted by Southampton. We don't care about Southampton. They ain't going to be on our level in a few years' time. And Gonçalo Guedes as well as a player that I've not mentioned. Again, wanted by Southampton. Fantastic season. 12 goals, 0 assists. Is a little bit worrying from our left winger. But the fantastic stats of Guedes we all know about. Again, time at PSG. 146 games for Valencia as well. A value of 71 to 86 million pounds. I imagine Guedes is going to be around the club for the whole of this rebuild as well. I hope anyway. Dan Podence, very good off the bench. Fabio Silva, it'll be interesting to see if we can get much out of him. Obviously, back in like FM 17, 18, when he was at Porto, this guy was the wonder kid striker to go ahead and sign. It's not the case anymore. He has not developed into what it was sort of hoped to be. He looks decent in spells when he comes on in real life, but you know it's difficult to see what we can get from him. Obviously, he had a decent spell at Anderlecht last season, 20 games and 7 goals for us. 4 goals and 1 assist in over just 8 appearances is quite good. So we'll see what we can get out of him. Mateus Nunes, 6 goals, 6 assists, a 7.02 average rating in 42 games is brilliant. And Pablo Sarabia as well, obviously on the older side, so isn't going to stay at the club for the whole of this rebuild, but 9 goals and 17 assists in 41 games is absolutely fantastic. He's extremely consistent. He loves a big match, and you know, they're my 2 favourite things. 33 years of age, fantastic on the ball player, and hopefully Sarabia can do bits maybe next season as well, and after that we might have to move him on. Riyad Aït-Nouri is a player that I'm really excited by in real life. I think he's a fantastic left back. He had a good season last season. Who else are we looking at? João Gomez, 38 games, 3 goals and 2 assists. He looks to get a lot of yellow cards this season as well. I've just seen on the Premier League sheet he got 14 yellow cards in the Premier League alone, so we know he's got aggression, and he certainly showed that in that season. I mean, a fantastic DM, already now a 3.5 star rated player, and now is extremely consistent, not just a little bit, extremely consistent, which is fantastic. Transfers wise, we've got lots of money. We've got 65 million pounds to go ahead and spend. Pedro Neto is someone that I've not mentioned, and to be honest, on FM, seems because of the injury he had, I think probably 2 or 3 years ago now, doesn't have that same ability and potential, so he is going to leave the club to go to Dortmund on a free transfer. Now, in real life, I think Pedro Neto is fantastic. He's in my FPL, for Christ's sake, and if you do like FPL content, that is over on the second channel. Pedro Neto is an absolute baller, and I would love him to be as good as he is on FM as he is in real life, but sadly, that's not the case on this FM. I think maybe next year they'll re-up his stats a little bit, but he looks to not really have the potential, and is now going to go out on a free transfer, as well as Totti, Christian Marquez, and Tyler Roberts. Obviously, £63 million is a lot of money to go and spend. Finances here at Wolves are decent, but not the best. And development centre, let's see if that wonder kid has come through the academy. I can see him already. His name is Dave Ryan. Now, this guy is a right winger and a striker, and on first glance, he looks decent. Very, very consistent. So, I mean, he's already in my good books. I mean, straight away. About 13 dribbling, 11 crossing, 11 passing, 13 technique, great off the ball work, great pace as well. At just 16 years of age, trust me when I say, stay to the end of this video, because Dave Ryan is going to be unbelievable. He is literally a fantastic right winger, and from the Wolves Academy straight away, which is great to go and see. Let's go and spend some money though, shall we? £63 million, maybe a few outgoings on the cards as well. Let's do some transfers. Starting off with the first outgoing is Sasha Kalajic. Again, I think Kalajic is a fantastic player in real life and really suits the Premier League, being 6'15", it looks like. He's 200 centimetres tall. He's an absolute giant, looks fantastic in real life. On FM, sort of player that doesn't really work, and especially as an advanced forward on attack in our system, Sasha is not going to quite cut it out for Wolves, just going for £5 million. And the goal scorer on the weekend, Hwang Hee-chan, has also left the club, £2.5 million to Cruz Azul. Again, not quite good enough for the Premier League, I don't believe, especially on FM. He is not going to make it and stick around at the club. Now, I've only spent £47.5 million. And number one signing is bargain on a free transfer, Sepp van der Berg. Now, this guy was out on Luton last season, obviously still in the Championship. Sometimes when the simulation works, it doesn't quite put the teams up in the right place. But Sepp van der Berg on a free transfer from Wolves. I didn't want to go mental in our first summer, again, spending just under £50 million, trying to keep it nice and realistic. He looks like a decent centre-half, a great backup centre-back as well, and again is consistent. He's only 23 years of age and certainly got a lot of time to go ahead and progress. There must be a reason Liverpool picked him up in 2019 as an 18-year-old. He must be good. There must be some talent in there somewhere. So Sepp van der Berg is signing number 1 for this season. So number 2 is brand new centre-half and star centre-half next to Max Kilman as well is Cesar Montes. This guy's been brought on from Espanyol, Mexican. So like I said, going to try and keep up with that sort of Wolves Hispanic speaking tradition. Extremely consistent, loves a big match, 16 marking, 14 tackling, 15 heading, about 6'4", 6'5" as well. Great anticipation, positioning, vision, on the ball work, decent enough pace as well. And for a bargain fee of just £15 million, I could not turn down getting Cesar Montes. Come from Mexico a couple of years ago over to Espanyol. There's 2 seasons over there. Last season, a 7.29 average rating. Hopefully, Cesar Montes is going to be a baller for us. He looks fantastic and is hopefully going to keep, with Max Kilman, a very good defensive record. And to help out that defensive record, we're going to bring in a midfielder, a nice, quick, attacking, not really attacking, but quick, young, aggressive midfielder. And that is Nicolas Capaldo, brought from FC Salzburg. He's been over at Boca Juniors in Argentina, went to Salzburg 2 or 3 years ago and has now come to Wolves. 17 work rate, great pace, great stamina, great on the ball work, natural fitness of 18, extremely consistent, loves a big match, great dribbling, first touch, passing as well. He's not the greatest on the ball in terms of crossing, corners, first finishing, etc. But as a work rate, next to Mateus Nunes, João Gomez, Capaldo and Nunes is a high pressing, aggressive midfield with a lot of intensity in there, and at just £10 million, again, an absolute bargain for Nicolas Capaldo. Can also play in at right back, so might fill in there if we need him to at some point in the future. And our big signing for this summer, £21 million. There's 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential ability, Colombian Yasser Asprilla. Now I'm very excited to bring in Yasser Asprilla. Always has very good potential on Football Manager and looks to have that same thing on this save. He's a little bit injury prone, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one, but very good all-round stats. You can see he's not the quickest of players. He's decent on the ball. He's just good at everything he does. And being that right winger, well, I've got Mateus Cunha and Gonçalo Guedes, where we can beat players with pace, passion. That is going to come from them. And Yasser Asprilla is hopefully going to just sort of peel off to the edge of the box. I believe he's set as an inverted winger on support in our system. Hopefully he can challenge Pablo Sarabia for that starting spot. Obviously been at Watford in real life, and you can see how this team now sets up. Jose Sarr in goal, Nelson Semedo at right back, Montes, Kilman and Aït-Nouri as the back four, João Gomez, Capaldo and Mateus Nunes, with Asprilla on the right, Guedes on the left and Cunha up top. The backups are looking at Dan Bentley, Hugo Bueno, Craig Dawson, Sepp van der Berg, Johnny Lamina, Boubacar Traoré, Sarabia, Chiquinho, Podence and Fabio Silva. So a very good talent all around the place as well. I don't believe we've loaned out anyone this season. I think I've just moved up Dave Ryan into the under-21s to see what he can do 5 years above his age. He's going to absolutely smash it, let me tell you that first of all. Season 2, let's get right into it. Can we qualify Wolves for European football? That is the goal. Back in the Europa League maybe? Let's see.
Lovely Wolverhampton!
Well, Big Dave has already made his Premier League debut at 17 years of age, coming off the bench in a non-competitive game, scoring 21 goals and 15 assists in 52 games in 5 years above his age. Like I said, this guy is an absolute demon, and he wasn't even the biggest story of this season. We were looking to get into Europa League football for season number 2, and Mateus Cunha's 27 goals in the Premier League has carried us to 5th place, which means Champions League football for Wolverhampton Wanderers is season number 2. 68 points, just 5 points away from 3rd place, and I mean just 10 points away from winning it all. What a season for Wolves this has been. With Everton, Fulham and Forest getting relegated, we are now clear. We obviously come 10th last season, a decent enough season. This season, back in European football, and in the big one as well. Champions League football for Wolves is absolutely massive. This season we scored just the 4th most goals. We were 7th on goals conceded. Possession wise, we don't keep a lot of the ball. Fewer shots against, we were 6th, and most shots for. Being aggressive in that midfield has certainly helped, because we were 2nd on most shots for in the whole entire season. Above average in goals per game, above average in goals conceded per game, and a big man scoring lots and lots of goals. Like I said, Mateus Cunha, 30 goals overall and 4 assists, with not done great in the Cup so far, being 4th and 5th rounded in the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup in both seasons, which is a little bit disappointing. But the Premier League back in Europe is massive, and this guy has absolutely killed it this season, as well as Gonçalo Guedes with 11 goals and 12 assists, again having a very good season here at Wolves. If only he could pull this out of the bag in real life, if Wolves players could finish, they would be on to an absolute masterclass. Brand new signing Yasser Asprilla as well. 5 goals and 6 assists in 27 starts is sort of what I was expecting from him for this season. A value now of £85 million, but he has developed not like in big matches in the slightest, which I don't like very much, but we'll have to see what he can do. João Gomez this season with a 7.11 average rating, 7 goals and 3 assists. 4-star player, 25 years of age, and needs to get into that Brazil team, because that would be a fantastic little story for us. Nicolas Capaldo with 7.03 as well, 44 games, 4 goals and 5 assists. Sepp van der Berg, 22 games off the bench, is sort of exactly the reason we brought him in. And Cesar Montes at the back as well, 44 starts, 2 goals and 3 assists. Very happy to bring him in. Has dropped now down to 3-star credibility and potential ability, but still looks fantastic, and hopefully he's going to stay around at the club. Is wanted by a few clubs, but looks good enough to stay around here at Wolves for me. The squad obviously doing absolute wonders, is fantastic, and like I said, Dave Ryan, if I go into development centre, is now ready to come up to the first team already. I've never had a player come through this good in the academy, especially on my own saves. When I actually play them and don't do them as rebuilds, it never happens, does it? But when you get it here in a rebuild, it feels a little bit special. £90 million to go ahead and spend as well. 150k in the wage budget is absolutely beautiful. And hopefully next season we can get into Europe again. Getting back-to-back seasons will be pivotal to how we can build on this Wolves team, and maybe even a little trophy in there as well. £90 million last season, we only spent 45. Let's see what we spend in season 2. We've kept a little bit of money back, so this season could be massive. And this signing is absolutely massive. Gonçalo Inácio from Sporting Lisbon is the cover star next to Mateus Nunes. Is an unbelievable centre-half. Has just signed a brand new contract at Sporting, but 2 years down the line, he's going to come over to Wolves and be a pivotal part of this back line. And to say Cesar Montes has dropped to a 3-star, let's improve that, shall we? With a 24-year-old Portuguese 26 capped international already. A fantastic centre-back with great stats as well. 13 tackling, 15 marking, 15 heading, great pace, great concentration, great anticipation at a very young age as well. Extremely consistent, and he enjoys a big match as well. It was expensive at £34 million, but when you're going out to get one of the best centre-backs in the world and one of the most progressive centre-backs in the world, it's understandable you have to spend a little bit of money, and we only spent £60 million in this window. Emran Ilkan is another player we've brought in, just 22 years of age, been at Torino for a few years after coming through the Besiktas academy, adds a little bit of quality and class into that midfield. Obviously got Capaldo and Nunez, who are two very aggressive, high-pressing, work-rate midfielders. Well, Ilkan adds that little bit of technical ability, a little bit of flair, 16 flair, 16 dribbling, 16 technique, is going to get you sort of into them open spaces to create chances of the front three. Is consistent and looks very, very good as well. 4 caps for Turkey already, and just £5.5 million might be the bargain of the whole save, because he looks absolutely fantastic. Diego Travassos, 22 years old from Sporting Lisbon, again going to come in and hopefully help out Gonçalo Inácio at right back. Obviously we've got Nelson Semedo, and now we've got Diogo as well, to hopefully sort of keep that contingency. You can see how attacking this guy is, because he can play right wing, so getting down the line is going to be Diogo's line for us, and at just £5 million again is quite a nice little astute piece of business, and another signing that I've made and I'm very, very happy with, and could hopefully in the future partner up Dave Ryan on the right wing. This guy on the left wing is Jamie Bino Gittens. Has not quite progressed at Borussia Dortmund as he'd have hoped. Has got 3-star current ability and 4.5-star potential ability, and at just 21 years of age, you've picked him up for a bargain fee of £8 million. That is absolutely outrageous, because this guy with 17 determination, 17 dribbling, 17 acceleration, 16 pace, 16 technique, looks absolutely fantastic, and I think is going to be a mainstay in our team for the next few years. This guy is fantastic in real life. Is a little bit injury prone, but is consistent, so hopefully we can also develop that big match love, and that guy can be a starter for us. And the last signing we've made is Ergun Kachir as well. He's going to partner up with Jose Sal in goal, another Turkish player, along with Ilkan, 30 years of age here in Erkan, and 17 1-on-1, 17 reflexing, 17 determination, 16 agility, a fantastic shot-stopping goalkeeper, brought in from Trabzonspor, has been there for 12 years now in the future, and he looks absolutely fantastic, and he's going to finally sort of test himself in the big league or the Premier League, and the favourite thing about him, he absolutely loves a big match. He's extremely consistent and cost us £8 million. So another absolute bargain coming in from the Turkish league. We have sold Daniel Podence for £8.5 million and Mario Lemina for 2.3, as well as I don't think there's anyone else that actually left. Not Cesar Montes even, though one else has actually left. Big from us. Joe Hodge has gone on a free transfer, but other than that, not too much on the outgoing side, and the squad again is looking fantastic now. We've got Ergan in goal, Semedo, Inacio, Kilman, Aitnori, Joao Gomez, Mateus Nunes, Capaldo, Guedes, Asprilla and Mateus Cunha, but the backups now is looking more and more strong. Every season we go through, and for the Champions League, that is what you need. You need a whole squad. And Jose Sarr, Travasos, Montes, Van der Berg, Hugo Bueno, Boubacar Traoré, Ilkan, Luke Kundal, Dave Ryan, Jamie Bino-Gittins and Fabio Silva makes up the rest of the squad, and a squad that looks very, very exciting as well. I'm looking forward to this season, getting us into European football. Can we win an FA Cup, a Carabao Cup? Can we win the Champions League? Let's not be silly. That'll be a little bit too far, and maybe get back in European football in the Premier League as well. Let's see for season number 3. The Champions League was a little bit more difficult than maybe predicted. Get knocked out in the league phase. I mean, so did Bayern Munich. So we're the same sort of level as Harry Kane and Bayern Munich. So we'll take that, but realistically not a very good league phase for us. It's been good to get up into, sort of knockout stage of the Champions League. We got a nice 8 games though, got to put ourselves on the map, and I mean, it's a decent enough first sort of attempt. FA Cup, again, we're getting knocked out in the 4th round, but we are getting quite a hard draw here, away against Chelsea, losing just 3-2. A little bit frustrating, because it'd be nice to finally lift that one, but not managing to tick it off, and we actually lost to eventual winners in the Carabao Cup as well, Manchester City, in the quarterfinals. So again, being done by a very, very difficult draw in the Cups is frustrating, because we want to lift one of them, but it's not quite how it has been going. And the Premier League, we were obviously looking to get back into European football, playing a lot more games this season. Would it be possible? Yes, it would. 6th place, 68 points. Europa League football, just 2 points outside of Champions League football. Again, a 33 goal difference. And Manchester City now have Dusan Vlahovic and Haaland up front. Hence why they scored 99 points this season, losing just 1 game all season. Absolutely ridiculous. Fair play to them. What a team. But we are looking very, very good. Brighton managed to sneak into the top 4, just 2 points behind them. Again, a little bit frustrating, but a very, very good season. 20 wins, 8 draws, and 10 losses. Again, Wolves fans, I know you'd take this in real life. It's much better than things are going right now. But this looks good. And I think with the team you've got, with the potential in that team, this could potentially happen in the future. The squad obviously looking very, very good. But the standout man again, Mateus Cunha, 28 goals and 7 assists. The stats are just outrageously good. And I hope he does come good in real life. He looks very, very good at sort of breaking through the lines and beating a man. I mean, I'm obviously a United fan, and he absolutely terrorised us on the weekend, a couple of weekends ago now. And we obviously managed to sneak over 1-0 win. Mateus Cunha was fantastic in that game, and hopefully he can sort of develop into that in real life as well. Mateus Nunes coming through this season with 11 goals and 9 assists. Again, progressing very well. And again, if you can keep hold of him, is an absolutely fantastic talent. Dave Ryan started 10 games and got 27 appearances off the bench. Unbelievable for Big Dave, and even started a game in the Champions League as well. Scoring 9 goals and getting 1 assist. So, very good goal scoring season. Not the best in terms of assists, but as an 18-year-old, he looks fantastic. And I think we're going to loan him out maybe for this season, just to sort of see if we can develop him a bit more and get him all the game time he needs. He's now extremely consistent as well. So Dave Ryan is going to get even better than this, trust me, but he looks fantastic already. Who else? Yasser Asprilla, 9 goals and 10 assists. Jamie Bino-Gittins, 9 goals and 10 assists in 27 starts, is one of the best sort of productive things I've seen out of Jamie Bino-Gittins on this game. Quite often when you get him, he's just a lot of pace, a lot of dribbling, but doesn't often turn in to sort of a good output player. Seems to be in this save, 9 goals and 10 assists. That is exactly what he is looking to do, and you guys do know you can get this save for yourselves. It's going to be down below in the Patreon below. Obviously, you can pick it up from any point as well. I put in season 5 for you guys to go ahead and pick up. Obviously, a massive thank you to the legends on screen right now as well. You're making my dreams come true of making content, and you get these rebuild files for free, well, not for free, but for £5 a month over on Patreon. It means a lot if you can pop any support over there. And obviously, getting this save file, you can use the legend of Dave Ryan. Joao Gomez now 5 goals and 3 assists, looks fantastic. Ilkan, new signing, 42 starts, 4 goals and 6 assists. And brand new keeper Erkan Kashir, 51 starts, starts with just under a 7 rating is brilliant. And obviously good Inacio as well, helping us massively in defence. And you can see that as well. A bit of a better season defensively, seeing just 1.21 this season per game. 2.08 goals scored per game is absolutely brilliant. And transfers wise, £65 million. Obviously the last few seasons we've only spent 46.5, 51 and £8 million added on to that. It's about 120 million. I think this season's going to be a big one, trying to bring in a few more unbelievable signings. Finances are looking good. We're sort of every season going back down to where we sort of are at the lowest point, but getting back up there again. In terms of the under-18s and under-21s, we've not had many other unbelievable players other than Dave Ryan come through, but hopefully that can change in the coming years. Let's get into it. Transfers. It's a bit we all love. Right, we had quite a clear out this season of a few older players leaving the club. Nelson Semedo's left on a free transfer. Luke Cundle and Boubacar Traoré never quite developed into what we hoped. Same as Joe Hodge and Alfie Pond. So they are all out the door on a free transfer. Johnny's left the club on a free transfer as well. A decent enough player. Palmy Ram Wilson's gone out on loan. Hugo Bueno's gone out on loan. And Dave Ryan has gone out on loan to Sunderland, who I believe are in the Championship and are predicted to come in 5th place. So a top Championship side with Big John O'Shea in charge. We're going to see Dave Ryan rip up the Championship this season, so look forward to that one. Kobbie Mainoo is the first signing that's been brought in, a loan signing from Manchester United. Now, if you do not know about this guy in real life, as a United fan, get to know him. He is absolutely fantastic and is going to absolutely smash it here at Wolves over the next couple of years as well. He's been brought in on loan for this season as a backup DM. Only 2-star current ability and 3-star potential ability. To be honest, I always just sort of want to bring in young players that I do really like in real life to show you guys a little bit of talent, because players like this on FM aren't quite at the point, but trust me, in real life, this guy is an absolute baller. And he's not the only absolute baller we've brought in as well, because, I mean, on a free transfer, when Paulo Dybala comes up, you can't turn it down, especially at a club like Wolves. We've got a lot of Hispanic players. I can see, maybe in 3 or 4 years, Dybala getting to the twilight of his career, coming over to a club like Wolves. He's on £55,000 a week on a 1 to 2 year deal. He was going to be the cover star with Mateus Nunes or Mateus Cunha, but I mean, it's not fair. He's only going to be here for a year or two. He's at the twilight of his career and it'll be a little bit clickbaity, but Paulo Dybala is here at Wolves. And I mean, what an absolute blast it would be to see this guy in the Premier League. Look at them technical stats: 16, 16, 18, 16, 17, 17, 19. His pace has obviously fallen off the face of the earth, but as a sort of tricky little winger or a false 9 striker, Dybala is here at Wolves for 1 season and another free signing, and this one is unbelievable. Francisco Coensual has been at Ajax now for a year or 2, has been at Porto before that, and he's ripped up the Eredivisie in them years as well and looks fantastic. Left Ajax on a free transfer to come here to Wolves and hopefully dominate the Premier League. He looks fantastic. 19 flair, 17 dribbling, great pace and agility as well. Some fantastic technique. Again, he's Portuguese, so fits the Wolves style of play quite a lot and looks fantastic, and I'm really excited to get Francisco Coensual in, and it's one of the reasons I loaned out Dave Ryan, because I think he's going to get a hell of a lot of starting time, as well as Tony Martinez, another free signing. Again, I made 3 free signings to just sort of bolster out the squad a little bit, because last season, I think, looking at the graph of when we were in the league, we were actually top 3 for most of the start and then divvied off as we sort of got very tired. So bringing in a few signings like this is key, and Tony Martinez has 16 determination, 16 heading, 16 aggression, 16 natural fitness, 15 finishing, looks fantastic. And a free signing again from FC Porto is a bit of a no-brainer and looks fantastic. £16 million and a brand new goalkeeper to battle with Kachir, as Jose Sarr is now going to head out the door, is Gavin Bazunu. Now, I like this guy a lot in real life. Didn't have a fantastic season in the Premier League last season with Southampton, but is an absolute top talent, and it is, kind of hard to disagree with that. I think if you're in the Premier League at just 22 years of age as a goalkeeper, you're going to go somewhere in life, and this guy looks fantastic. 16 handling, 16 reflexes, great error reach, speed, positioning, vision, and looks fantastic. Extremely consistent. Not the greatest in big matches, but hopefully we can iron that out of him, and Gavin Bazunu is going to be the brand new Wolves number 1 for this up and coming season. And you never know, maybe going forward into the future as well. We've signed already one absolute wonder kid from Portugal, centre half in Gonçalo Inacio, so why not go and get the younger version of him, João Fonseca. Unbelievable talent. Again, you might have never seen this guy in your saves. He starts out at just 16 years of age, but Fonseca, unbelievable talent. Already got a value of 32 to 38 million pounds. He's 20 years of age, 2-star current ability, 5-star potential is consistent. And look at them stats already. At just 20 years of age as a centre-half, 14 heading, 13 marking, 12 tackling, great determination, great anticipation and decision-making already at the age that he is, and looks absolutely fantastic, and is hopefully going to come along next to Inacio in that centre-half in the years to come. Anders Borseth is another fantastic young player, Norwegian, can play left-back or centre-back, is just over 6 foot tall, so can certainly do both roles quite well. Decent enough going forward and very determined, very quick. Good tackler of the ball as well, and again picked up for a fairly cheap fee of just £7.5 million from Wolfsburg. It's a bit of a no-brainer. Keeping up with the Portuguese tradition, Jedson Fernandes is going to come in, extremely consistent, loves a big match, 19 natural fitness, 18 stamina, 16 work rate. Again, suits that high pressing midfield very, very well. Great dribbling, great first touch, great anticipation, balance, stamina, acceleration, pace. This guy adds a lot to the midfield and looks absolutely fantastic. Again, this season we've really upped the numbers. We've sort of gone away from backups to sort of very good midfielders, and Jedson Fernandes definitely suits that role. And again, a bargain price of just £11 million. I'm very happy to bring in him. Alexis Tabidi is going to be our backup striker this season. So much pace, so much agility, great flair, great dribbling, just 12 finishing, but at 23 years of age. This guy could develop into being an absolute talent. He looks absolutely fantastic. Has been over at Troyes, 16 goals in 98 games. That is where he starts from the saves. If you want to get Alexis into your saves, this guy is available and is consistent, and he loves a big match, so the classic Kempi. And the last signing after all of this is Malo Gusto for £18 million from Chelsea. Hasn't played too much over there, and actually I've just seen he's going to struggle with his work permit, and believe it or not, I don't see it for this whole season. I don't even apply for it. So he signed for 18 million, and it's a big waste of money because he never actually got to play many games. He looks fantastic, but you know, sadly, a bit of an error on my behalf with him. Outgoings wise, obviously Lamina and Podence went last season, but Fabio Silva's gone for 5.25 billion. Jose Sarr has gone for 1.7. Max Kilman, obviously he's a captain in real life, now 30 years of age. We've sort of moved on from him, and at just £8 million, maybe he doesn't quite progress on FM like he does in real life, because this guy, I believe, genuinely is fantastic in real life, but off on FM hasn't quite progressed how I'd like with him. And I think with the team and the signings we have made, we may have slightly moved past Max Kilman, because I mean, our team now with Erkan in goal, Gusto at right back, Inacio and Montez at centre back, Aït-Nouri at left back, Joao Gomez at DM, Capaldo, Nunes, Asprilla, Guedes, Cunha, but now Bazunu, Travasos, Fonseca, Van der Berg, Borset, Mainu, Ilkan, Guedes, Jedson Fernandes, Contra and Shao, James Bono Gittins, Tabidi, Dybala and Tony Martinez were looking very, very good. And obviously on loan, Dave Ryan, Hugo Bueno and Anga Borgerson. I'm not very good at pronouncing Icelandic names. Season 4, we're in the Europa League. It'd be nice to try and win that one. The FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, the Premier League. Let's see what we can do. We need to lift the trophy in this 5 years. Let's make it that in season number 4. Well, season 4 had been ruined. Something happened completely out of my control. As we go to the end of the summer window, Matheus Nunes was poached by PSG for £48.5 million, which took away our best midfielder, which absolutely destroyed the dynamics of the squad. And then we actually failed in everything. We come 14th in the Premier League. We got quarter-final in the Europa League by Newcastle, 5th round in the FA Cup by Southampton, and 4th round in the Carabao Cup by Aston Villa. And you can see we were pretty shaky from the start, and we were shaky all season long. An absolute write-off in season number 4. Maybe we signed too many players, maybe too many big names in there. Maybe Tony Martinez and Paulo Dybala were a step too far for the squad in terms of egos, and you know, I think maybe I messed up season 4 transfers a little bit, and obviously having our best player poached just before the end of the window, not sort of replacing him, because when I do these sims, I do just sim for a year and come back. So a bit of a shame of not seeing that, and it sort of ruined us. But £80 million, £92,000 in wage budget. Trust me, you want to stay around for the last season because it is a banger, because Dave Ryan is back and he's got 4 goals and 3 assists in the Championship, and he's an absolute baller. Just wait. You need to see what he does in season 5, because he might not be here. We might loan him out again, but he is unbelievable, and you're going to see what this guy turns into, because he's going to play Champions League football and he's going to absolutely smash it up. I swear to you, I've not baited you this whole time, because at the end of season 5, he comes back to the club, and for you guys on Patreon who do pick this up, this guy is lights out good. He's going to progress so much in this 5th season, so wait around. He doesn't look like it, but he will, trust me. £90 million, let's go spend it. I'm going to wrap this rebuild up all in one with transfers, Dave Ryan's move to Napoli on loan, and everything all in one, as well as how he finished in season number 5. So it's going to be nice and quick, nice and exciting. Gonçalo Guedes has left the club for 24.5 million to Crystal Palace, now just 2-star current ability and a potential ability as well. Obviously now 32 years of age, a fantastic servant to the club, but has now left for some great money as well, so we certainly sold him at the right time. And Ergun Kachir has left the club to go to Manchester United as their backup goalkeeper. He wanted to leave. Obviously when you get an offer from United, it's quite hard to turn down. Alex Scott has joined the club, £30.5 million, played 38 games this season, 3 goals and 3 assists. Fantastic player, unbelievable potential, and obviously very consistent, loves big match, and we all know how good Alex Scott is, and for £38 million is a decent signing in this far in the future. Morato, brand new centre-back, 27 years of age, Brazilian, Portuguese speaking, 60 anticipation, 16 marking, 14 tackling, 14 heading, great jump and reach and natural fitness, played 16 games, 6 on the bench, probably shows how good our defence is now, the fact this guy is our backup, but very happy to bring in Morato. Angel Martin is our first wonder kid sort of regen signing coming through, playing 12 games for us, goalkeeper, looks unbelievable. Again, you guys are going to have great fun with Angel Martin, very consistent and looks absolutely fantastic, 21 years of age, and signed for a bargain of just £15 million. And the last sign I go ahead and make to replace Gonçalo Guedes is Noni Madueke, £16 million, hardly played a game for us this season, but to be honest, you're not going to need him because Dave Ryan this season has gone out on loan to Napoli and is now a 3.5-star current ability player, 5-star potential ability player, scored 11 goals and 5 assists, played 10 games in the Champions League, 35 starts in the Serie A, and now looks like an absolute demon. His finishing is only 8, so you need to progress that just a little bit, but the unbelievable pace, great flair, great dribbling, great passing, you're actually got one of the best wonder kids on the game right now, ready for you to use at Wolverhampton Wanderers. Is on loan at Napoli, is going to come back to the club, loves Wolves. He come through the academy, of course he loves Wolves, and is now ready for you guys to take him to the next level, and you're going to have so much fun progressing him. So Dave Ryan is available for you guys to go and use. Obviously, we've had some decent seasons going sort of in this rebuild so far. We've managed to come in mid-table a couple of times. We've got into the Champions League, we've got into the Europa League. The Carabao Cup and the FA Cup have not been fantastic, and I think that's about time we change that a little bit, don't you? It would be nice to lift a trophy or two. As you can tell, I'm just sort of sorting out some highlights because we're about to go in to an FA Cup final, and 8 Nuri to Coenchiao to Morato makes it 1-0. Now Nuri down the left-hand side again is going to find Bino Gittins back into João Gomez into Emran Ilkan for 2-0 in the FA Cup final against Everton. Brian in the ball finds Jonas Wind to Hugo Ekitike for Everton. Very good signing for them, makes it 2-1. They're going to actually get the ball here on a progress from there. Peristiani to Krastiev to Ekitike, making it 2-2. And the 70th minute and the 77th, they're going to whip it in for 3-2 Everton in the 77th minute. It's going to take a lot to get back into this one, but just a minute later, Cunha trying to get through in that back line. Asprilla finds him, and he does get the ball in the back of the net. In the 112th minute, Jedson Fernandez is going to find Coenchiao down that right-hand side. He's going to put it back into Tony Martinez, who's going to score, and we're going to lift the trophy. Finally, the FA Cup has come to Wolves, and what a game this was. 23 shots for Wolves, 22 for Everton, 10 shots on target for Everton, 11 for us, 2.95 XG for us, 53% possession, and we just about lifted a trophy in this whole rebuild. Semi-final by Man City in the Carabao Cup, and 9th place in the Premier League, meaning we're back in the top half, which is good. We haven't fallen off so far, obviously like we did in season 4, looking like a very good progressive season. We sort of grew into it as time went on, and the squad developed very, very nicely. This last season, our squad is looking great. Bazunu in goal, Gusto at right back, Ignacio Fonseca, 8 Nori, João Gomez, Ilkan, Capaldo, Coenchiao, Asprilla, and Mateus Cunha up top. Season 5 is over. You've got Europa League football to carry on from here. We've lifted a big FA Cup here at Wolves. Make sure you do smash a like on the video. Obviously, subscribe to the channel as well. And there's a rebuild down here, which you guys have got to go ahead and watch. So make sure to go ahead and watch that one. And why not just carry on? Because YouTube's going to just play it for you.